Hey there YouTube, welcome to my review of the 1 to 144 scale high grade Blazing Gundam from Gundam Breaker Battlogue. So I'm recording this before the premiere of Gundam Breaker Battlogue on the Gundam Info YouTube channel before October 19th. From what little we've seen so far, this seems to be one of the main hero suits that will be featured in the show. And based on what we've seen, it seems to be a martial arts based Gundam, and that's especially obvious with the use of the God Gundam, as a base and beam compass. Overall, this kit has really good aesthetics. I like the design of it in general, especially with moving a backpack to the forearms and moving, because in a way it still gives the same feel and power as the original God Gundam / Burning Gundam, but in a more minimized mobile aesthetic instead of with the clunky huge backpack. But I'm not a fan of this shade of red they used. It seems a bit too faded for my taste. And also the shoulders do seem a bit too plain for my taste. It'd be nice if they had a bit of color on them. But I do really like the backpack they have here. This looks pretty cool. And then having a bit of color on the ankle armor as well is a very nice touch. I always like, personally I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. And the forearm guards are very nice too. Okay, moving on to the articulation, starting from the feet up. Here we have some ankle motion. The ankle armor doesn't really move too much. It's a bit hindered by these pieces on the upper ankle right here that are attached to the leg. We do have a bit of motion with this thing right here. Part of the claw that was moved over from the original God Gundam. But yeah, the ankle motion is a bit hindered by the other parts here. We have a double bend in the knee, and as you can see here, fully functional waist skirt. The double bend in the knee is not a perfect movement like other Gundams, like the Strike Gundam, but it's still pretty decent. You should be able to get a decent range of motion with it. Back skirt doesn't move at all. That's okay. And then on the back of the leg here, we have, yeah, that's the recurring problem on my kit. This tonfa keeps falling off. But anyway, we have this bit right here. The back of the leg can come out. Yeah, the back of the leg can come out. And then flip it back. And then this reveals a set of thrusters here in the back. And yes, my kit is pretty loose actually, so I'm not the biggest fan of this. You're gonna see parts falling off during the rest of this review. We have these beam sabers right here on the waist. These holders do have range of motion, which is pretty convenient. Moving on to the waist, we have some back and forth, not much side to side. It can do a full 360, but it is hindered by other parts that are on the kit here. Okay, moving on to the arms. We have the full 360 on the shoulders on both sides. That's very good. The elbows themselves, single jointed, about 90 degrees, which is kind of annoying since this is a martial arts based kit. You want to have some range of motion for this. And I just had a beam top and fall off. Okay, forearm armor. It can come out like this, just like the original God Gundam backpack. Very nice. Kind of cool. Almost reminds me of like a Batman Beyond's forearms in a way. Okay, next we have the head, which is back and forth, side to side, full 360. Alright, and then we don't have any motion here, unlike the original HD God Gundam kit. And then the backpack, there's no motion here at all either. But before I forget, there's also the splits. This kit can pretty much do the full split. And I just lost a piece of my head right here. Well, it happens. Alright, let's take a look at the accessories next. So we have this alternate face mask here that we saw in the trailer. We have two beam sabers. One of the beam sabers is longer than the other. That's just by design. Two beam saber holders, two beam tonfas, 2 extra set of hands. These 2 hands here, they're from carryover from the original HG God Gundam, and then the energy foot right here. And these 2 extra fists right here are just closed fists. They can't hold any weapons, they're just for posing. So these beam tonfas are designed to have the beam sabers go directly into here on the bottom part. They do have a round peg hole design. Unfortunately, I do find the fitment to be a bit lacking as well for this, because it's a very tight fit. It's hard to get in and very hard to get out as well. Something unique about the beam saber design on this is that right here is the flat design, but the hole is a round design. And as here you can see how difficult it is to get the beam saber out. Every time I put this in or out, I worry I'm going to break the beam saber. And here we have some beam saber holders, which is convenient for those who want to put beam sabers on this or just create a new custom. This also has a round peg hole design, so just put the saber in here, and like I mentioned, it's a tight fit. I can't get in any better than that. It's still sticking out a little bit, but that's the best I can do, unfortunately. Okay, lastly we have the energy foot kick right here. I'm sorry, G-Gundam fans, I forgot what this is called. Don't hate me. But yeah, I'll show you to put this on. So first you have to... take this foot off right here. You can do this on both feet, but the box art shows the right side, so I'm going to use this foot first. Okay, then you take the energy foot. Take off the ankle armor. Put the ankle armor back onto this new foot, and then stick this in, and voila, rider kick. I will admit I was a bit disappointed about this. I was hoping that the energy foot would be something more like the Double Riser sword, where you just slide on top of the original sword, but unfortunately no. Last accessory is this alternate face mask right here. This is also a parts former. So to put this on, I'm going to separate the head first. This is also a parts former, by the way. So you have to take off this little V-fin holder section right here. Take off the V-fin itself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take out this part first, and then I will take off the V-fin. There we go, much easier. Now you take off the face here. Okay, now you put this new mask on. Should just pop right in, like so. You put on this little antenna on the back. Put on the V-fin. And then you put on this tiny little red piece here onto the top of the V-fin as well. Be careful with these parts, they are very small and very easy to lose. And the white one is loose, at least on my kit. Oh, but the red one goes on pretty well, it's tight. That's good. And there we go. That's what the kit looks like with the alternate mask. Personally, I think it looks better with this mask than it does with the white mask. I'll probably stick to keeping with this one on. And the beam saber holders have this little notch right here. And you can see a little notch right here as well. You just slide it in, and it stays pretty secure into the slot. Doesn't move, doesn't come out unless you pull it out. Same on the other side as well. The beam tonfas also have a little notch right here and a little notch open right there to put these in and hold them in place, more or less, anyway. And these are all of the spare pieces you have left over as well. It's mostly some feet, leg armor, and a full set of shoulders, I think, from the God Gundam, and part of the. And you also have the wing-like things from the God Gundam's backpack, but not the backpack itself, unfortunately. As well as a few extra polycaps. You could probably use those for another project if you want to. They also give you enough pieces here to make another Gundam head. So you have the original God Gundam face here along with the back of the head, which is the same as the back of the head on the Blazing Gundam. And that combined with the face mask, you can pretty much make a new Gundam head minus the V-fin. And Runner C here has a piece here that I believe is the chin for the original God Gundam head. You also have a spare waist section right here to connect the legs, and some extra claw-like pieces that are from the original HG God Gundam's forearms. Alright, and that is my overall review of the HG Blazing Gundam kit. I think it's a pretty cool looking kit, but overall it's not that great. Pieces are loose, some pieces are too tight. I keep having things fall off. And like I said, the red's not my favorite, but I'm sure there are people out there who will still enjoy this regardless of my personal issues with it. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe for more Gundam content, and I'll see you around next time. Peace.